Hello all and welcome to tonight's Torah portion. Before we get started, I'm going to say our customary blessing. Blessed art thou, Adonai Eloheinu, King Universe, who has sanctified us with his commandments, commanded us to regrow ourselves with the words of Torah. Please, Adonai Eloheinu, sweeten the words of your Torah in our mouths and the mouths of all your people Israel. May we and our offspring, the offspring of your people, the house of Israel, may we all together know your name and study your Torah for the sake of fulfilling your desire. Blessed are you, Adonai, who teaches Torah to his people Israel. Blessed are you, Adonai Eloheinu, King of the universe, who chose us from all the nations and gave us the Torah of truth. Blessed are you, Adonai, giver of the Torah. May Adonai bless you and keep watch over you. May Adonai make his presence to enlighten you, may be kind to you. May Adonai bestow favor on you and grant you peace. Today is the first reading of Bo, as it is the first day of the week. Exodus 10:1 through 13:16. Then Yahweh said to Moses, Go in to Pharaoh, for I have hardened his heart and the heart of his servants, that I may show these signs of mine among them, and that you may tell in the hearing of your son and of your grandson how I have dealt harshly with the Egyptians, and what signs I have done among them, that you may know that I am Yahweh. So Moses and Aaron went in to Pharaoh and said to him, Thus says Yahweh, the Elohim of the Hebrews, How long will you refuse to humble yourself before me? Let my people go, that they may serve me. For if you refuse to let my people go, behold, tomorrow I will bring locusts into your country. And they shall cover the face of the land, so that no one can see the land. And they shall eat what is left to you after the hail. And they shall eat every tree of yours that grows in the field. And they shall fill your houses and the houses of your servants and all of the Egyptians, as neither your fathers nor your grandfathers have seen, from the day they come on the earth to this day. Then he turned and went out from Pharaoh. The Pharaoh's servant said to him, How long shall this man be a snare to us? Let the men go, that they may serve Yahweh their Elohim. Do not yet understand that Egypt is ruined? So Moses and Aaron were brought back to Pharaoh, and he said to them, Go serve Yahweh your Elohim. But which ones are to go? Moses said, We will go with our young and our old. We will go with our sons and our daughters, and with the flocks and herds, for we must hold a feast to Yahweh. Then he said to him, Yahweh be with you. If I ever let you and your little ones go, look, you have some evil purpose in mind. No, go, the men among you, and serve Yahweh, for that is what you were asking. And they were driven out from Pharaoh's presence. Then Yahweh said to Moses, Stretch out your hand over the land of Egypt for the locusts, so that they may come upon the land of Egypt and eat every plant of the land, all that the hail has left. So Moses stretched out his staff over the land of Egypt, and Yahweh brought an east wind among the land all that day and all that night. When it was morning, the east wind had brought the locusts. The locusts came up over all the land of Egypt and settled on the whole country of Egypt. Such a dense swarm of locusts that had never been seen before, nor will ever be seen again. They covered the face of the whole land, so that the land was darkened, and they ate all the plants of the land, and all the fruits of the trees the hail had left. Not a green thing remained, neither tree nor plant of field, through all the land of Egypt. Then Pharaoh hastily called Moses and Aaron, and said, I have sinned against Yahweh your Elohim, and against you. Now therefore forgive my sin, please only this once, and plead with Yahweh your Elohim only to remove this death from me. So he went out from Pharaoh and pleaded with Yahweh, and Yahweh turned the wind into a very strong west wind, which lifted the locusts and drove them into the Red Sea. Not a single locust was left in all the country of Egypt. But Yahweh hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he did not let the people of Israel go. Then Yahweh said to Moses, Stretch out your hand toward heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, a darkness to be felt. So Moses stretched out his hand toward heaven, and there was a pitch darkness in all the land of Egypt 3 days. They did not see one another, nor did they rise from his place for 3 days. But all the people of Israel had light where they lived. Then Pharaoh called Moses and said, Go serve Yahweh. Your little ones also may go with you, only let your flocks and your herds remain. But Moses said, You must also let us have sacrifices and burnt offerings, that we may sacrifice to Yahweh our Elohim. Our livestock must go with us. Not a hoof shall be left behind, for we must take them to serve Yahweh our Elohim. And we do not know with what we must serve Yahweh until we arrive there. But Yahweh hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he would not let them go. Then Pharaoh said to him, Get away from me, take care never to see my face again, for on the day you see my face you shall die. Moses said, As you say, I will not see your face again. Yahweh said to Moses, Yet one plague more I will bring upon Pharaoh and upon Egypt. Afterward he will let you go from here. When he lets you go, he will drive you away completely. Speak now, in the hearing of the people, that they may ask every man of his neighbor and every woman of her neighbor for silver and gold jewelry. And Yahweh gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians. Moreover, the man Moses was very great in the land of Egypt, in the sight of Pharaoh's servants and in the sight of the people. So Moses said, Thus says Yahweh, About midnight I'll go out in the midst of Egypt, and every firstborn in the land of Egypt shall die. From the firstborn of Pharaoh who sits on his throne, even to the firstborn of the slave girl who is behind the handmill, and all the firstborn of the cattle. There shall be a great cry throughout all the land of Egypt, such as there has never been before, nor ever will be again. But not a dog shall growl against any of the people of Israel, either man or beast. That you may know that Yahweh makes a distinction between Egypt and Israel. And all these your servants shall come down to me and bow down to me, saying, Get out, you and all the people who follow you. And after that I will go out, and he went out from Pharaoh in hot anger. And then Yahweh said to Moses, Pharaoh will not listen to you, that my wonders may be multiplied in the land of Egypt. Moses and Aaron did all these wonders before Pharaoh, and Yahweh hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he did not let the people of Israel go out of his land. Yahweh said to Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, This month shall be for you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year for you. Tell all the congregation of Israel that on the 10th day of this month every man shall take a lamb according to their father's house, a lamb for a household. And if the household is too small for a lamb, then he and his nearest neighbor shall take according to the number of persons, according to what each can eat. You shall make your account for the lamb. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male, a year old. And you may take it from the sheep or from the goats, and you shall keep it until the 14 days of this month, when the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill their lambs at twilight. Then they shall take some of the blood and put it on the two doorposts in the lintel of the houses in which they eat. They shall eat the flesh that night, roasted on fire with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. They shall eat it. Do not eat any of it raw or boiled water, but roasted, its head with its legs and its inner parts. You shall let none of it remain until morning. Anything that remains until morning you shall burn. It is in this manner you shall eat it. With your belt fastened, your sandals on your feet, and your staff in your hand, you shall eat it in haste. It is Yahweh's Passover. For I'll pass through the land of Egypt at night, and I'll strike all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and on all the gods of Egypt I'll execute judgment. I am Yahweh. The blood shall be a sign for you on the houses where you are. And when I see the blood, I'll pass over you, and no plague will befall you to destroy you, when I strike the land of Egypt. This day shall be a memorial day, and you shall keep it as a feast to Yahweh. Throughout all your generations, as a statute forever, you shall keep it as a feast. 7 days you shall eat unleavened bread. On the first day you shall remove leavening out of your houses. For if anyone eats what is leavened from the first day until the 7th day, that person shall be cut off from Israel. On the first day you shall hold a holy assembly, and on the 7th day a holy assembly. No work shall be done on those days, but what everyone needs to eat, that alone may be prepared to you. And you shall observe the feast of unleavened bread, for on this very day I brought your hosts out of the land of Egypt. Therefore you shall observe this day throughout your generations as a statute forever. In the first month from the 14th day of the month at evening. You shall eat unleavened bread until the 25th day, until the 21st day of the month at evening. For 7 days no leaven is to be found in your houses. If anyone eats what is leavened, that person will be cut off from the congregation of Israel, whether he is a sojourner or a native to the land. You shall eat nothing leavened in your dwelling places. You shall eat unleavened bread. Then Moses called all the elders of Israel and said to them, Go and select lambs for yourselves according to your clans, and kill the Passover lamb. Take a bunch of the hyssop and dip it in the blood that is in the basin, and touch the lintel and the two doorposts with the blood that is in the basin. None of you shall go out of the door of his house until morning. For Yahweh will pass through and strike the Egyptians, and when he sees the blood on the lintel and on the two doorposts, Yahweh will pass over the door and will not allow the destroyer to enter your house to strike you. You shall observe this rite as a statute for you and your sons forever. And when you come to the land that Yahweh will give you as he has promised, you shall keep this service. And when your children say to you, What do you mean by this service? You shall say, It is the sacrifice of Yahweh's Passover, for he passed over the houses of the people of Israel in Egypt. And when he struck the Egyptians, but spared our houses, and the people bowed their heads in worship. Then the people of Israel went and did so, as Yahweh had commanded Moses and Aaron, so they did. At midnight Yahweh struck down all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, from the firstborn of Pharaoh who sat on his throne to the firstborn of the captive who was in the dungeon. And all the firstborn of the livestock, and Pharaoh rose up in the night, and he and all his servants and all of the Egyptians, and there was a great cry in Egypt, for there was not a house where someone was not dead. Then he summoned Moses and Aaron by night and said, Up, go out from among my people, both you and the people of Israel. Go, serve Yahweh as you have said. Take your flocks and your herds as you have said, and be gone, and bless me also. The Egyptians were urgent with the people to send them out of the land in haste, for they said, We shall all be dead. So the people took their dough before it was leavened, their kneading bowls, and bound up their cloaks on their shoulders. The people of Israel had also done as Moses told them, for they had asked the Egyptians for silver and gold, jewelry, and for clothing. And Yahweh had given the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians. So they let them have what they asked. Thus they plundered the Egyptians. And the people of Israel journeyed from Ramesses to Succoth, about 600,000 men on foot. Besides women and children, a multitude also went up with them. And very much livestock, both flocks and herds, and they baked unleavened cakes in the dough that they had brought out of Egypt. For it was not leavened, because they were thrust out of Egypt and could not wait, nor had they prepared any provisions for themselves. The time that the people of Israel lived in Egypt was 430 years. At the end of 430 years, on that very day, all the hosts of Yahweh went out from the land of Egypt. It was a night of watching by Yahweh to bring them out of the land of Egypt. So this same night is a night of watching kept by Yahweh by all the people of Israel throughout their generations. And Yahweh said to Moses and Aaron, This is the statute of the Passover. No foreigner shall eat of it, but every slave that is bought for money may eat of it after you have circumcised him. No foreigner or hired worker may eat of it. It shall be eaten in one house. You shall not take any of the flesh outside the house, and you shall not break any of its bones. All the congregation of Israel shall keep it. If a stranger shall sojourn with you and would keep the Passover to Yahweh, let all his males be circumcised. Then he may come near it and keep it. He shall be as a native of the land, but no uncircumcised person shall eat of it. Shall be one law for the native and for the stranger who sojourns among you. All the people of Israel did just as Yahweh commanded Moses and Aaron, and on that very day Yahweh brought the people out of Egypt, out of the land of Egypt by their hosts. Yahweh said to Moses, Consecrate to me all the firstborn. Whatever is the first to open the womb among the people of Israel, both men and of beasts, is mine. Then Moses said to the people, remember this day in which you come out from Egypt, out of the house of slavery. For by a strong hand Yahweh brought you out from this place. No leavened bread shall be eaten. Today, in the month of Abib, you are going out. And when Yahweh brings you to the land of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, which he swore to your fathers to give you, a land flowing with milk and honey, you shall keep this service in this month. 7 days you shall eat unleavened bread, and on the 7th day there shall be a feast to Yahweh. Unleavened bread shall be eaten for 7 days. No leavened bread shall be seen with you, and no leaven shall be seen with you in all your territory. You shall tell your son on that day, it is because of Yahweh did what Yahweh did for me when I came out of Egypt, and it shall be to you as a sign on your hand and as a memorial between your eyes, that the law of Yahweh may be in your mouth. For with a strong hand Yahweh has brought you out of Egypt. You shall therefore keep his statute at its appointed time from year to year. When Yahweh brings you into the land of the Canaanites, as he swore to you and to your fathers, shall give it to you. You shall set apart Yahweh all the first ovens of the womb. Wait. No, I mistyped. All the first opens. All that first opens the womb. Right, that's weird. All the firstborn of your animals that are males shall be Yahweh's. Every firstborn of a donkey you shall redeem with a lamb. Or if you will not redeem it, you shall break its neck. Every firstborn of man among you, your son shall be redeemed. And when in time to come your son asks you, what does this mean? You shall say to him, by a strong hand Yahweh brought us out of Egypt from the house of slavery. For when Pharaoh stubbornly refused to let us go, Yahweh killed all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both the firstborn of man and the firstborn of animals. Therefore I sacrifice to Yahweh all the males that first opened the womb. But all the firstborn of my sons I redeem. It shall be as a mark on your hand or the frontlets between your eyes. For by a strong hand Yahweh brought us out of Egypt. Blessed art thou, Adonai Eloheinu, King of the universe. He gives the Torah of truth, the everlasting life in our midst. Blessed art thou, Adonai, giver of the Torah. Brukatah Adonai Eloheinu, melech alom. Asher natah lanu teredi met. Baishye, ulom natah betaginu, brukatah Adonai, latina Torah.